CivicQ is a voting platform enabling any Taiwan residents to launch referendums and call on communities to take actions. In the information age, digitalization has enabled social networks to erode the advertising revenue of news media and compromise journalistic independence. The vision of CivicQ, therefore, is to build a democratic media with the operating principles of transparency, inclusivity, and one man one vote. The goal is to restore journalism as the fourth estate that functions as a form of monitory democracy. This vision will be achieved through three missions. First, build digital democracy by establishing public trust with blockchain technology and voter authentication. Second, defend data ethics by enabling users to monetize their own data. Third, promote critical thinking by offering gamified learning experience. In 1906, at a county fair in England, there was a contest for guessing the weight of an ox. The closest guess was 37 pounds off, but the average of all guesses was within 1 pound of accuracy. As the adage goes, 2 heads are better than 1. But public opinions don't always yield the best results. From the Brexit referendum to controversial drug war propaganda in the Philippines, from Capitol Hill riot to conspiracy theories about COVID-19. In the digital age, social media platforms have become the primary news source for many people, but also a hub that disseminates disinformation. Public opinions in a democratic society is a double-sided sword. Collective intelligence on one side, and mob rule on the other. Post-truth is not exclusive to the internet age. After World War I, Hitler rose to power with nationwide propaganda that is emotionally appealing and provocative to the German people. In Middle Ages, the Catholic Church with its institutionalized power was responsible for launching the Crusades in the name of God. Yet today, not only can bad actors manipulate crowds' Paleolithic emotions through medieval institutions, but they also now have access to godlike technologies, allowing them to create filter bubbles and echo chambers through social media algorithms. In the post-truth era, subjective emotions are more influential than objective facts. A healthy democratic society is comprised of news media and public opinions. An informed citizenry is essential to a functioning democracy. And a neutral and unbiased press is necessary to educate citizens. Together, they form a new type of media in the internet age, democratic media. To construct a formidable democratic media, 4 issues need to be examined. 1. To eliminate single point of failure, ballot records are stored on blockchain to establish public trust. 2. To avoid double voting, voter authentication is required to check for eligibility. 3. To reduce extreme polarization often caused by plurality voting, ranked voting and quadratic voting are introduced to help measure the intensity of voter preference. 4. Voters who lack adequate knowledge about certain public issues or election candidates are vulnerable to the influence of disinformation. While fact-checking website is helpful, developing critical thinking in voters is more sustainable, and gamified quizzes help voters stay informed in an entertaining way. It is a norm today for anyone to seek validations from complete strangers, and for celebrities to build rapport with fanbase on the internet. And brands always have budgets allocated for market surveys to navigate business decisions. A company cannot be run without the board of directors elected by shareholders. Local elections need participations from local electoral. And while referendums are open to citizens only, perhaps there are ways to gather immigrants' voices separately since they are also part of the community. From personal dilemmas and entertainment gossips to social constructs and public issues, there are always situations where public opinions matter to decision-making. In terms of market positioning, CivicQ operates a data economy at the nexus of research agency, news media, and social network. In the Taiwan civic tech ecosystem, JoinGov, operated by the National Development Council, is a GovTech platform that encourages civic engagement, while GovZero is a world-renowned hacker group comprised of individuals with different public interests. CivicQ, on the other hand, is a social enterprise representing the private sector, collaborating closely with public sector and decentralized community. Picture an ice cream sundae. The wafer cone at the bottom is the data layer, and different flavors of ice cream on the top symbolize a variety of voting methods. The wafer roll is a separate module recording anonymized data onto blockchain, making the ballot record transparent and verifiable by anyone. CivicQ has been issued a patent on blockchain voting by Taiwan Ministry of Economic Affairs. Many designs received inspirations from famous works. The concept of quadratic voting is from the book Radical Markets, and the post-truth phenomenon accelerated by social media is documented in the Netflix film, The Social Dilemma. Behind the film is Center for Humane Technology, a foundation with 6 tenets. Respect human nature, minimize harmful consequences, center on values, create shared understanding, support fairness and injustice, and help people thrive, are the 6 tenets make up the design framework for CivicQ. As a firm believer of corporate social responsibility, CivicQ is committed to United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 10, reduce inequalities, Goal number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and Goal number 17, partnerships for the goals. With revenue sharing, CivicQ enables users to monetize personal data, freeing users from filtered content recommended by engagement-driven algorithms preying on human nature. Users are rewarded for their inputs on multiple-choice questions presented in a variety of formats. These inputs then become structured datasets that are further analyzed to match advertisers with target audience, creating a sustainable cycle of data economy. Such paradigm shift prioritizes values over financial gains to make sure platforms do right by users, thereby reducing psychological harm led by commercial interest. A better tomorrow is a goal for everyone, and it takes a village to pursue. Fight for freedom. Defend democracy. Thrive together. Strength in numbers.